Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We're so happy to have you here during the fall gathering this November 3rd, 2022. We are going to go ahead and get started by introducing our team. We have an awesome team of 5 folks. My name is Kaylin Richardson. My pronouns are they, them. I'm in the picture in the bottom right there. And we have an amazing team of family liaisons who are responsible for all of the family engagement activities that Realty does, all of the outreach activities, all the tabling, family cafes, canvassing, etc. And so those individuals are Gwen Brown, Talia Brown, Letty Hicks, and Danielle McGill, and we will be sharing facilitation responsibilities today. Our agenda is as follows. We basically have 3 different sections on the agenda. The first section is going to be the awards ceremony. So we want to start out strong by recognizing the Brenda Crisp Early Childhood Champion Award nominees and winner. Part 2 is going to be an overview of our annual report. So you'll hear about the activities that we've been doing, the outcomes that we've been working towards. And then part 3 is going to be discussing those different outcomes, right? So what kind of early learning spaces are you wanting to create, and what is ELP doing that is helpful around that? What is not helpful around that? And what do we want to see moving forward in the future year? But for now, we will turn it over to Gwen Brown, who's going to talk a little bit more about the Brenda Crisp Award, whose namesake is here today with us celebrating, and she'll talk through the nominees as well. Gwen? Gwen, if you're sharing at all, you're on mute.
Oh, I was really talking over here, y'all. So sorry. I was going there, going down to it. Okay, well, I was just saying today we will be presenting an award we have someone who is deserving of the Brenda Crisp Award. This award is a very prestigious award. Only the elite are able to receive this award. So if you're an elite person, I mean, if you with this award, you are among the elite. So Ms. Brenda Crisp Award, that award is basically, it honors Ms. Brenda Crisp's legacy. It's made because it's where people have created spaces where children and family are loved, cared for, and equipped for success. So those are the basic components that we were looking for in trying to find someone who will be able to be a recipient of this award. This award honors an early childhood professional volunteer and or advocate within the greater East St. Louis area that embodies Ms. Crisp's nurturing spirit, her commitment to quality, and her relentless passion for improving child well-being. So the person who we have for this award, we have our nominees for this award. I'm sorry, we're going to recognize our past winners first. Our past winners has been Ms. Janice Minster. She's an awesome person in this childhood what we're working on our projects here. Gloria Hicks, she has been a recipient. Miss LaVinci Mims has been a recipient. And guess who else? Voila, I was the recipient last year. So these are the people who have previously held this award, and we're very honored to have been a recipient of it. So right now, we're going to move on. When I was presented with that award, the award that I received was from Kevin. If you all, or I know everybody in here is familiar with who everyone knows Kevin Hopkins. But Kevin Hopkins, he made the award. Can you go back to that slide? He made this painting where it says it takes a village to raise a child. And I have it sitting up in my foyer. As soon as everyone walks in my house, they can see it. So I love the award myself. It was just an honor to have been recognized for my works, and I just appreciate that. And thank you, Kevin, for the awesome drawing and allowing me to take part in it as well. Next slide. So, Brianna Brown, she's a family care child care provider. She has daily shown compassion for not only in providing a learning environment for the kids, but as a parent platform for community support environment. It takes a village, and I'm glad she is my neighbor. Brianna Brown, she was one, I'm so sorry. Brianna Brown, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening with my screen. Yeah, it keeps going back and forth. I'm sorry. But Brianna Brown, she was one of the nominees for this award. And that was one of the comments, one of her submittals, the person who submitted her, that was what they stated. And they felt one of the reasons for her receiving this award was because my apologies, you all, but I don't know if it's my screen or is it everybody's screen, but it keeps jumping on my end.
You're doing good, Gwen. It's
Okay.
not jumping.
Okay, all right. So, but she, Brianna Brown, the person who submitted hers, stated that she has daily shown her compassion, not only in providing a learning environment for the kids, but as a parent platform for community support environment. It takes a village, and they say that they're glad that she is their neighbor. Our next nominee can we have our next nominee?
There's either a delay for me or for you.
Okay, there it is. Erlisha Jefferson. She's our next nominee. She works as a community. I think it's my screen because it keeps jumping on my end. My apologies, you all. Community.
Hey, Gwen, if you want to, I could support you really.
I have it. I have my laptop here. I'm just gonna go to my laptop.
Okay.
All right. Alicia Jeff, my apologies, everyone. Alicia Jefferson. She works in community development at YMCA. She takes pride in her work when it comes to the children. It takes a village, and she doesn't mind putting her help where it is needed at any time when it comes to the children. The next person that we have is Danielle McGill. She's an early learning partnership family liaison. Danielle is an exceptionally pleasant. She exhibits genuine characteristics of a giving person, is extremely organized and helpful. She is always willing and is always pleasant and greets everyone with a welcoming, genuine, contagious smile. The person who nominated her, those were their sentiments for her. Shanae Powell of Powell's Academy 2. Shanae serves as a role model for their students, staff, and parents. She always has the best interests of their students and facility in mind. She goes above and beyond to help grow, teach, and educate the children in their facility. Her persistence, creative ideas, dedication deserves to be recognized. The next nominee, and then here we go. So out of Danielle McGill, Shanae Powell, Erlisha Jefferson, and Brianna Brown, drum roll, please. I am proud to announce our winner for the Brenda Crisp Award for the Greater East St. Louis Early Learning Partnership is can we all please give her Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Will y'all give her a round of applause?
Woo!
She is so deserving of this prestigious award, the Brenda Crisp Early Learning Award. Shanae,
Yes,
are you here?
yes, ma'am.
Are you ready to tell everybody?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
We're
ma'am.
so happy that you won this award. You're so deserving out here at Powell Academy. I heard that they are over there doing some great things, and because of them doing great things, you have helped them do all these great things. And can you tell us more about them? What you do?
Yes, ma'am. Well, my name is Shanae Powell. The facility is actually my mom and dad facility, so I've been kind of in the childcare field pretty much all my life. It actually began to be kind of personal for me growing up because I had some troubles growing up and struggles growing up. And I always said once I get older and, I watch how different people, come into the facility and not really make impact. And I always said that I want to be able to make impact and be able to change lives. And I realized that in order to change lives, it start in the infancy stage, which is the younger kids. And I just started to I thank God, first of all. It's like a God vision thing that with my creativity that he blesses me to be able to think outside of the box and be able to think like, how can I make Powell's Academy better? I don't look at it as this is my mom facility. I look at it as another facility to help make a difference in kids' life, parents' life, and be able to be something positive out of East St. Louis. So I don't look at it as, is a generational thing or a family thing. I look at it as an impactful thing. How can I be able to, what makes our program different, or what can I do to make our program different and stand out or whatever. And that's just what I do. That's pretty much all I can think of. I'm the program coordinator over here, where I just think of ideas academically and be able to just help the kids and the parents be able to grow and continue to make a difference. Like y'all said, it is a village. It does take a village to raise kids. And I feel like once the parents, the teachers, and the staff is all on one accord, is no reason for our kids not to be successful. So that's just, my motto is not what you do, is how you do things. So I just try my best to, make a difference in the kids' lives.
Thank you so much, Shanae. Can everyone hear me? We have about 5 people on the same internet right now, so I just want to make sure. So happy to have you representing Powell's and yourself, and amazing, amazing job. Gwen, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
No, I just wanted to say that she is so deserving of this award. We are all in it for the kids. And for you to do such an outstanding and upstanding job, we just appreciate you for your time and the things that you do to make life better for families in our community.
I appreciate it. I thank you guys for even or whoever nominated me. I guess that kept it a surprise because I didn't know anything about it. But that just shows you the type of person. Like, I hate being the center of attention. I like to be behind scenes, but it's just one of those things where I'm embracing it. And I just thank God for you guys recognizing what I do, what God blessed me to do.
Absolutely. Let's all give Shanae another round of applause. Thank you, thank you. And all of the nominees, we do have gift bags for you all, and so I will be reaching out to you to get those to you over the next week or two. But for now, I do want to take us into a little bit more of presentation. And so this second half of our day together today is really around ELP's work. What has ELP been doing? What have you all been doing with us? What have we been collaborating on over the past school year? And so I want to start out just by talking a little bit about our vision and mission for anyone who's still getting oriented to the work. And so what we want to see is that every child in Greater East St. Louis has what they need to be successful in kindergarten. And we believe that one of the many ways that that can happen is connecting families to high quality early learning programs that are helping children grow and learn. And so we really define our success around this based on lots of different things: family engagement, teacher leadership, teacher-family connections. But one piece of quantitative data that we can look back at and see how we're doing is the percentage of children ready for kindergarten. This is according to a survey that happens in the school district every year called the KIDS survey. And basically what it does is that it just gives us a snapshot of what readiness looks like in our footprint and in Illinois. And so what you'll see here is that this work has been going on since 2017, and we have seen a little bit of an increase in readiness over that period of time, both in District 189, which is this black line here, and in Illinois overall, which is this gray line. One of the things that I want to point out about this as we go into this conversation is, one, of course, that these numbers are low. We want to create spaces and supports where all children are ready for kindergarten and can succeed when they get there. And that is going to be a continuous challenge in our work now and in the future. But the other thing that you may notice is that there is a big gap between readiness in Illinois overall and readiness in 189. And what we don't want to do is put blame on anyone, but recognize that the systems in place are perpetuating this disparity, this difference in readiness between children. Systemic racism is a cause of this, as well as disinvestment in East St. Louis from the state of Illinois, from the nation, and from Missouri. And so we see barriers to accessing and staying enrolled in early learning programs and services, as well as other sort of things that are impacting safety and wellness and basic needs like rates of poverty and violence. So we want to make sure that as we're looking at this data, we're thinking about it in the context of that system, of those environments. And our work is really looking at how we can better organize those systems and connect together, connect families and teachers and providers, and figure out a way that we can all work better together to improve these outcomes. And so what we're really looking for is to create a space, to create community where we're increasing readiness overall, but then we're also decreasing that gap between readiness in 189 and readiness on a state level. And so this is going to be sort of our North Star number. This is what we'll keep coming back to, but there are a lot of different activities and approaches to the work that are acting as a foundation for us to meet this goal. And so we have activities in each of these different areas: strengthening early learning program quality, supporting early childhood development, improving school readiness, and then, of course, increasing kindergarten success. But what we really want to highlight here is that the foundation of this work is family engagement and leadership and community collaboration. We don't want to recreate the norms of society that are creating these disparities between children and families. We want to figure out how we're working together to make that impact. So I'm going to turn it over to Danielle actually to talk a little bit more in detail about some of the activities, events, and programs we offer in each of these areas.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Danielle McGill, one of your parent liaisons. I want to welcome everyone. Hopefully everybody has lots of energy. It feels great outside. You're moving around a little bit and not just sitting at a table. But let's go over what we're doing to reach our shared vision. So we had several events and activities to help get us to our shared vision. First, we had the Week of the Young Child. It's our annual celebration of young children and the adults in their lives. Then we had Ready, Set, Enroll, events that connect families to early learning services and programs. The third event we had is Kindergarten Transitions, public awareness, family engagement, and provider coordination for a better family experience. Next, we do community outreach, which is regular canvassing and community education. We do tabling events. So you guys check out our social media accounts and pay attention to what we're doing in the community. Then we have family cafes, which we have one this evening from 6 to 8. Don't forget. We have biannual cafes that give families a space to connect with others and share resources. And we also have professional development, which are biannual training opportunities that center equality, equity, and well-being in play. So we had a busy week celebrating early learning with the Week of the Young Child. It was great. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got a chance to experience it also. And we celebrated the Week of the Young Child by having storytelling. And it was a workshop with our local author, Loretta Hayes. If you guys got a chance to listen to her read, she would have had your attention the whole time. She had mine. We asked her to read a few books because we just loved the way she told the stories, and she was very animated. We did music mindfulness on Zoom in partnership with Early Choices. We had 482 views with that. We also did Taco Tuesday. Okay. Well, I'm jumping ahead of myself, you guys. I'm sorry. Let me go back to our numbers. Okay, thank you for going to that. Okay, we also did Taco Tuesday at our local learning centers. 6 programs participated in that. We had 180 deliveries of Artsy Thursday kits, and we had 214 participants to participate in our family and community cafes. So to go over our data for who participated in our Early Learning Week of the Young Child, we had teachers and assistants, we had 49.1% to participate. Our support staff, we had 18.5% to participate. For our home base and caregivers, we had 16.7% to participate in the Week of the Young Child. And for parents, we only had 10.2%, which is kind of low. Okay, and our directors, we had 5.6% to participate. So we do want to improve that, parents. I'm one of the parent advocates, so we have to improve that. So you guys, I'll turn it over to Letty. Letty, are you ready?
Ready. And as Danielle said, we are trying and figure out and creating other ways that we can increase these numbers, such as parents, just trying to raise these numbers up. But there's more work to be done. But for what's worked, we're going to celebrate the numbers that we have had. And by doing that, we're going to be looking at these other numbers as well, with we're increasing the early learning enrollment, such as Ready, Set, Enroll, how we reach over 200 families and some. Every day when I go to the store, I'm talking about Ready, Set, Enroll. Also, how we hosted an early learning enrollment fair, and I will discuss a little bit about that more on the next slide. And we also had 2 family workshops, which also turned out great. And on this slide, and this is where I talk about our kindergarten. Well, no, it was our open house event that we had at the JJK. There I am doing a community event, telling people about the programs and services that we have available for families in the community. Y'all see they got the tin over there because I was burning up. Also, these are some of our partners who help us, who have supported us with the great turnout with the kindergarten, with the open house event. We had the Metro East Literacy Project with Linda Mitchell, who provided us with tons of books. Also, the school district, Love, Living Our Voices Everywhere. Now PBS, which has been a long time supporter of us. Positive Development, Children's Home and Aid is also veterans in the community, and SIUE. Once again, thank you all for your support and their turnout, and we're looking forward to working again to creating more. Next slide, please. Yes, and those the names that. Oh, okay, never mind. And so, ways that we are supporting school success with kindergarten transitions. Also, we developed 2 videos to improve awareness about kindergarten. So District 189, what is kindergarten readiness, and Ready, Set, and Kindergarten. And we're just gonna watch a video right quick.
Ready, set, kindergarten. Because champions start early and finish strong.
My name's Jacqueline Johnson. I'm the kindergarten lead teacher here at Dr. Katie Humper Wright Elementary School. The reason why I became a kindergarten teacher is because once I started to have my own children, helping them learn and grow and explore was intriguing to me. We have a great time here at school. I'm a teacher that likes to do it all. So we are really hands-on. We sing, we dance, we talk. Because a lot of kids, they need visuals. They need to move. They need to use their hands, rather than, so much pencil paper.
March, April, May, June, July, and August, September.
Yes, hi, my name is Rebecca Jones, and I'm a kindergarten teacher here at Dunbar Elementary School. The number one key in welcoming students, especially new students, into kindergarten, is to build that rapport with their teacher, to let them know that I'm not just their teacher, but I'm here because I care about them.
How are you today?
What does that mean, Kamaya?
Happy.
Happy! Why are you happy today, Kamaya?
Cause I like coming to school.
Success in kindergarten really is individualized for each and every child. But as long as each child is growing in his or her own way and making continual growth throughout the year is what is important in kindergarten.
Our goal, especially here at Dr. Katie Harper Wright, is that every student leaves kindergarten reading something. If they can't read a full book, we're gonna read a sentence. Everybody's gonna leave kindergarten writing something. If it's 2-word sentence or a paragraph. As far as reading and ELA is concerned, that's English Language Arts. The kids do a lot of word work. We do a lot of sight word learning.
On submarines. The snowflakes go down. The suns go down.
Being able to build words using the sounds that they've learned from the alphabet and then moving into fluency.
To what? W.
Now listen to this one.
E. V.
And then there's that silent letter on the end.
E.
E is the silent letter. Look at that.
And then with mathematics, numeracy is the biggest key for kindergarten. How can we see numbers? Do we see them like you see it in the lesson, a 10 frame? Do we see them in tallies? Can we count the rocks outside? Numeracy is big. And then we take those numbers and the different ways that we learn those numbers and how to count them, and we move into operations with them. Like we're seeing now later in the school year, students are adding and subtracting using those different ways that they see numbers. So in the beginning of the school year, a big thing that I do is tell the kids is that you are a scientist. Scientists explore, they use their 5 senses. So we start science with a magnifying glass. We look at everything, we touch everything, we describe everything in all the ways that we can. And then we recently had a STEM project to see if we could get a seed to grow without it being planted in the ground. Learning about all those parts of a plant, what it takes, what living things need, what we need. So that's a big thing in my class. I love to explore. My call to action for parents is to be present. We need you, especially at this level when they're learning so much new information. Pick up a book, take them to the library, take them to places like the zoo, talk about the animals, go to the park, talk about how the tree became a tree. When students bring things home, make sure you're on top of it. When the teacher reaches out with messages, make sure you read them and respond if needed, but just be present.
Parents, please help us. We are not your child's first teacher. You are the child's first teacher. So as an educator, and my other fellow educators would agree, is that we need your help. We need you to read with your children, work with your children, talk with your children.
Thank you for the lovely video. So I just wanted to say, I did catch her name, but when she said what inspired her to be a kindergarten teacher when she had her own children. And I think that's where a lot of our work comes from our own inspirations, from our own background, like from our own self-reflection, like me, like my back then, like what I do as far as like engaging, advocating for voices of parents and families all over. At one point I did have that. And, I felt like if I knew then what I know now, I would be more better then than what I am now. So I just wanted to point that part out by saying that usually that's where most of our work comes from within. So, but anyway, all that mushy stuff give me all soft and stuff. But anyway, so we also have worked with District 189 to implement a district-wide survey, and I will talk more about that a little later. And then also refresh our event series to focus on social, emotional well-being of children and families. I know all that good stuff. And then last but not least, provide a kindergarten transition backpacks to local programs and families. And I still have backpacks that I'm giving out. And then what's in progress is the children's book on kindergarten readiness, which is also in the making. And we're going to go to the next slide. So this is where I talk about the data yet. Last year, these are last year's surveys results. As you probably know or probably don't know, that all elementary schools in the East St. Louis district had distributed surveys to families that have children in kindergarten. So there were a total of 137 responses. If you would go up, Kate, so I could call out the schools who participated in those surveys. So as I'm seeing, James Evans, Paul Alonso Dunbar, Katie Wright Harper, Okay. Ravetta Young and Annette Harris Officer. Thank you. And these are the responses they have responded to the survey. So there was a total of 83 that they responded that they had helped another child start kindergarten within the last 5 years. There was 92 who stated that their child was connected to early learning programs before kindergarten. 24 stated that their child attended more than one early learning program. And as you can see, there was 34 who reported that their child spent most of their time at home before kindergarten. Okay. And here's some opportunities for action. Providing peer-to-peer learning opportunities to identify and close gaps in family preparation for kindergarten. Offering engagement opportunities for children that can strengthen our understanding of what students want and need as they start kindergarten. To increase focus on and resources directed to home-based early learning activities. And then identify district strategies for community education and public awareness, and identified outreach strategies specifically for families already connected to the district. And that's all that I have right now. I'm going to turn it over to Kate.
Great. So I'm going to close out this share out section just by talking for a minute about some of the amazing work providers in the footprint are doing to improve classrooms and other learning spaces for infants and toddlers. And so we have been really grateful to partner with IFF, which is a funder that works throughout the Midwest in a lot of different areas around sort of families of youth and education, but the way that we're partnering with them is around this quality for facilities for all cohort. And basically what this does is it's bringing these providers together to talk through what are some of the changes they can make to their buildings, to the classrooms, to the outdoor spaces around their centers, so that infants and toddlers have these safe and enriching spaces to exist in. And so you can see the 7 different providers that have been awarded through this grant program with IFF. And so they were awarded a little bit earlier this fall, and they will be working with staff from IFF for the next several months to get these improvements made. So I promise you, we will definitely keep you updated with the amazing changes that they have going on, but definitely want to recognize them all. And so for anyone who's not able to join visually, I'll read them out. So Delta Child Development Center, Hamilton's Learning Center, Kitty Camp Academy, Kids of Hope Child Development Center, Michelle's Place in Cahokia, Powell's Academy 2, and Unipres Kinder Cottage are all centers that have been awarded as a part of this program. And so again, really grateful for our relationship with IFF and hope to continue that in the coming years. So we have just thrown lots of information at you. We definitely recognize that. And so before just jumping into a planning session and switching gears, we want to give some space for rest. So please take the next 10 minutes to stretch, practice self-care. If you need to answer an email or two, but just center yourself before we come back together and do some shared planning. And so we'll come back at 1:56. So if you can just jot that down somewhere, and I will give you about a minute warning before we fully bring you back. But again, take a 10-minute break and come back at 1:56, and then we will get started with some shared planning. All right, let's all come on back, and then I'm going to turn it over to Leah to go through and remind us about what our next steps are in this session together.
Okay, so we are back at the agenda, and we're just going to discuss the ground rules and the reflections, the small groups and the large group, and the call to actions. And we're going to take it to Danielle.
Okay, Good evening again, you guys. I'll go ahead, I'll read the ground rules and the group norms. So let's all celebrate contributions and step up, step back, be present and participate. Speak using I statements only. Practice active listening. Ask genuine questions. Okay, we should be courageous conversationalists. Preserve integrity of stories. Inherit worth and dignity. Listen to understand. Take responsibility. Make room for diverse voices. And embrace ambiguity, if I said that right. So let's go to our second slide, which is reimagining early education. And we do have like some calming music to put with this part, you guys. So I would like everyone to take 5 minutes to do an individual reflection. I would like everyone to ask yourself a question. What do you want the world to be like for young children? And please place your answers in the chat box. And while you're doing that, I'll give you some examples. So you might think about, child, parent, and teacher wellness, teacher-child parent relationships, family engagement events and activities, early learning programs, at-home learning supports, and child development school readiness, and words, images, feelings, or anything else that makes up your vision. So please share your thoughts in the chat on how you would reimagine early education if you could change anything or add anything or additional supports that you think that early education needs to reshape it. So let's go to the chat, you guys. Safe. So I have safe when you think about reimagining education, early education, you think about safety, safe learning environment, and more family oriented by spending time with one another, and above all, safe for learning and growth in a positive way. And what just happened over in St. Louis, I can just, imagine why I'm hearing so much safe in every statement, because we want to feel safe when we send our children to school. Now, I don't want to say anymore. Hi, Amy, bright, full of joy, and with no concerns of health and physical security, where they grow with hope to successes in their dreams.
Hi, Danielle.
Opportunities to have a variety of experiences and try out new things. Exposure to new experiences, also creating an environment where SEL is the forefront of all we do, making sure that all students have a safe space and safe people around them. They're safe again, safe. So like a key component in a lot of statements, safe.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, you can talk. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. One thing we were just discussing is an environment for children where it will be an easy transition for, like, if a child who learned better visually, but there may be another child that you can just explain it, say it, and they're able to learn. But it may be a third child that needs both that visual and that verbal explanation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, children learn different. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
So where
a transition where, even though when we're doing something as a group, but it's something that could be transitioned where you can still teach that same thing to that visual child or that verbal child or that child, or that child that may need both visual and verbal.
Okay. I must say that, the schools are trying to meet the kids where they are. lately, I've noticed that it's a big difference, so I might be hands-on and they're doing more hands-on things though. So I know they are kind of stepping up on doing that.
Okay.
So, I have some more. Okay, exposure to new experiences, also creating an environment where it's already read that. I would like a better community for our children. Okay, Talia. At home learning support and teacher-child engagement, also safe environment everywhere. Maybe like 1 through 2 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry, Kaylin. We had 1-2 minutes left. So if you guys want to add some more, if somebody wanted to speak instead of typing.
Hi, this is Chastity from U of I Extension. I would love a place where kids can be kids and they're not influenced by social media or what they see on TV, where they can just have fun in their innocence and not have nothing to distract them or deter them or to influence them into being something other than a child.
I like that too. But in the world we live in, it's like just a part of everyday living, like social media. And I think the kids are influenced by that, by making like false claims and have the schools all riled up right now when you don't know what to take seriously or not.
And I would just like to come off mute and by saying that I would like for all these visions that we vision actually come true, actually seeing it happening. Instead of we visioning, it's actually happening.
I agree. So you guys, I love all your comments and I thank you guys for participating. And hopefully you got it off your chest how you would envision what it would be like for our young children if we reimagined early education. So at this time, we'll go to our creating a shared vision of school readiness and success. So we'll be broken out into small groups. We'll have a total of 20 minutes. So how those 20 minutes will be broken up is we'll share out for 5 minutes, share the descriptions you came up with, choose one person to write down what is similar in your stories, discuss for 10 minutes how can family engagement, early learning programs, and kindergarten readiness activities get us closer to the world you want to see. And for the last 5 minutes, I need you to prioritize, meaning you pick 2 or 3 ideas that are the most important to your group and choose one person to share out to the large group when we come back. So Kaylin, I'll pass off to you how we'll do that.
Great, yeah, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I will put these questions in the chat before we fully move on to this other breakout group section. But I just wanted to do a demo for a second on the Jamboard. I added a link into the chat, and this is for something called a Jamboard, which basically just allows you to add sticky notes and ideas and work together on these questions. And so as you reflect, as you talk together, you can either put your responses in here, or you can have someone write them down and just be a note taker on a piece of paper and share them back out to us when we come into large groups. So either is fine. Our main goal is that y'all are talking and coming up with ideas. If they don't end up here, that's okay. Let's just make sure we talk about them in the large group. If you do want to add them here though, I'll give you a bit of an overview of how to do that. So as you can see, I've already taken the ideas that you shared in the chat about what you want the world to be like. I've added it on sticky notes here, and you're going to have the opportunity to do the same thing with this other question. And so in order to add anything to this Jamboard, you're going to open up the link and you're going to go to the menu on the left-hand side. And so if you look over here, there's a pen, an eraser, an arrow, that kind of thing. The fourth icon, if you hover over it, is a sticky note. And so you're just going to click that sticky note and it's going to pop up with something you can type in the middle of your screen. Okay, and so what I'll do is I'll just put an idea here. I can change the color if I want, and then I'll save it. And it is going to, you can see back here, it's popped up onto this page. I can keep typing and add another idea, or I can just click cancel, and then I'm able to move these sticky notes and these ideas around. So we're just looking for you to put your few ideas here, your mini ideas here, or to have someone write them down, and then we can chat about them, and I'll do it when we're back in a large group. Any questions about how to use this Jamboard? Okay, I would encourage you to see if there's anyone in your group who's familiar with Jamboard, and that way that person maybe can take point on it. But otherwise, you are going to, again, discuss these questions that Danielle just went over, and you'll have 20 minutes to do that. So you're going to share your descriptions of the world that you want to see. You're going to talk about what activities get us closer to that world. And pick 2 to 3 ideas that you feel are most important. That's not saying other ideas aren't important, but if you had to prioritize some, what would they be? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna open up our breakout rooms. They're automatically put together. So if you feel like you should be in a different room, just come back to the main room and I will put you in a different one. And we will automatically close them. After 20 minutes, you'll have a 1-minute warning. Okay, so I'm opening all the rooms. Let us know if you have questions, and can't wait to see your discussion and responses. Is there anyone here that needs help getting into a room, or are you just opting out of the discussion, which is absolutely fine? Hi, Mrs. Dorothy. How are you? Hey, Stephanie, can I support you in any way?
Oh, well, I didn't have anybody in my group. They all left, so I just came back to you.
Great, I can put you in another group if you'd like.
Perfect.
Okay, sounds good, thanks. I really like your polka dots today, by the way.
Thanks. We're wearing yellow because one of our coworkers' niece had surgery today for cancer.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear.
But it
I
was
hope went
successful, so
well.
we're good.
Good, good, good. Okay, I'll send you to another group. Welcome back. We're gonna give folks a couple more seconds to join. And then we'll move on to the next part of this agenda.
So we're back, everybody. Is everybody back?
That's y'all. That's what. That's it. That's it. That's now that's reality. That's what reality is. Where your volume at? Mama, what? I got you. I'm sorry. I'm out of order.
Is everybody?
Yes.
We're missing some people. We had 40 some people. We got 37 that came back.
There have been a couple people who have had issues with text, so I think they'll be joining, coming back.
Okay.
And Danielle, we have Mr. Rose who will be joining us. He had another Zoom earlier. He is jumping on now.
Okay. Okay. So I'll give like 30 seconds for everybody to come back. And then we'll discuss what we talked about in our small breakout group. Okay, you guys. So we did have like some great conversations, and a lot of people didn't get a chance to, give their comment, but we did have like several. I'll start with my group since I'm hosting this segment. So in my group, I had Cynthia and Yolanda. I had Shay B, Kay Cotton, Shanae, myself, and we went over one question basically that we were able to talk about, and that was how can family engagement, early learning programs, and kindergarten readiness activities get us closer to the world you want to see? So I don't want to give anybody's name unless you guys don't mind me saying your name, but I had one that just stuck out. Her statement was just, I told her she needs to patent it, stranger meat. And I love that. And this is being done at one of our daycare centers at Powell's Academy. It's where the kids leaving daycare and they're going to regular school. They put the kids in the school that they'll be going to when they leave daycare. And they'll just just to get a chance to get a feel on how it would be and possibly meet their teachers or, whatever. I like that, stranger meet. I like what it's called. So I had somebody else bring up, start early, and that's kind of the same thing, start early. And they wanted to emphasize that involves the parents, and it starts at infancy with the parents, start early. And so my big thing, I guess, what you'll take away from our group, parental involvement, basically, are the parents being involved in the education process pretty much. So do I have anybody else from any other groups that want to share what they talked about?
I guess I could share from group 8, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, group 8, we did the one on the safety piece. We thought about having a community day where we would have like a family night, and they would do a movie about safety, all kinds of safety, like fire safety, and I guess even like for healthy eating also, because that's something to keep your children safe, because obesity runs, sort of rampant, within children. So we would have maybe someone talk about healthy eating. Also, we would have the children draw pictures about maybe like the police officer badge or, fire, the fire truck or something like that. And we also came up with an idea about food lunches and stuff for for the families, not only during the summer, but like throughout the whole year, in order to provide meals for the family. And I hope I didn't miss anything.
Okay, thank you. From Group B, that's what you guys will call. Do I have any other groups that want to share?
I'll quickly share from my group. I do not know our group name. This is Amy Hart. I just have my picture down because I'm kind of moving around. But we talked about supportive services and how important family engagement and early learning programs provide parents with that voice and support them in being advocates. So learning how to be an advocate in early childhood programs, and being motivated by your family engagement worker, how to use those resources and how it benefits that child and that family throughout their career journey in education. So some of the skill sets that you learn in being part of those programs benefit you in your long-term goals and planning and being an advocate for your children throughout their journey in education.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Do I have any other groups? Where are my other groups at? No other groups? I thought we had.
I'd say group 7. We had some great conversation. We kind of looked at it the whole, like, we started from family engagement from early on. So we said the family engagement is needed to help our families learning, how early learning programs are needed. And then it talked about how we talked about how parents with family, how they need to be informed through the child's life. You know, Mr. Will Ford actually said, you know, like from the womb, you know, you're told, like, you do prenatal, you go through the whole process with the different things, but then once, you know, and maybe that first child, you follow all the things, but we need to kind of make sure, you know, when they're getting ready for pre-K or what you need to do or what a kindergartner needs to know, all those things would have been, you know, to keep the parents informed, to keep as through the whole life process of what to expect all the way, you know, through. We also talked about consistent processes about learning, you know, because in pre-K or early programs, you might be learning to play well, to be, you know, to share, to do that stuff. So then by the time they get to kindergarten, they're expected to come in, you know, put things away, go to the table, do this, sit, raise your hand, get in line, those kind of things. And that's a little hard if they don't go through those processes. So learning the processes, going through it, and continuing to socialize. So that's kind of where structure comes in. I think, you know, we also, I mean, we just kind of talked through the whole thing about, you know, we got to educate and communicate. So when we were talking about communication needs to be set through. So yes, we educators need to learn, and parents, then families and students, but everybody needs to communicate. We don't need, and I seen somebody's comment with TV and all that stuff, you know, and social media. You're right, but we got away from that family sitting down and talking. So I think we talked about a lot of those too.
I love them. Yeah. Thank you. Do I have any other groups that would like to comment?
I was in the group with Letta. This is Angela Davidson. I'm a teacher at JJK. With Miss Letta, and she had an awesome idea, because as a parent, you was a teenage parent. And I stated that a lot of times we don't do parenting class. She said she was a young mom. And as a parent, you're not for sure, if you don't know what to ask a teacher, you're not for sure what to ask questions about your child and how your child should behave in class. So I said we should come up with some parenting classes for our parents. And the parents are the first teacher, even though if you never had, you did have a high school degree or a college degree, you are still the first parent for that child. So just information about helping the parent learn how to ask questions, even like Mr. Leroy said, the birth and all that, but if a parent never went to school, have no education, it's kind of a hard experience coming from that. And Nicole did also, she was saying, she said she do home base, her and Margie, and they go there with the parents and they try to encourage the parents how important it is that you're everything to that child. And once a parent understands that, they can probably move forward and do great things.
Then, and thank you a lot too for Angela for that quick report back. And I also want to lift the part of that Angela and Marjorie also had mentioned too. Many parents create their own goals that they want to see for themselves and for their children, even if they don't know what goals there may be or what goals they want to see. Kind of giving them a demonstration of saying, what is it that you wish for your child that you didn't have when you was younger? So even if they don't know what their goals are, give them an example of what they wanted for their child that they didn't have when they was growing up.
I think that's the problem with our kids. We're getting too much of that. They're getting too much of that.
You said what they have?
They're spoiled because they're getting what we didn't have.
And I don't think it's so much a sport. I just feel that it's like making sure that just what we said, seeing that they have what we didn't have. And we all as parents, we all does it. We all have did it in some way.
Yeah, we
So I don't think that's nothing to be guilty of. And if you must say, yeah, I spoil my children with the things that they need. See, it's a difference in spoilment and entitlement.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Thank you, lady. Do I have any more groups that would like to share before we close out of this segment? Okay, I don't think we have any more. But what I got out of everybody's group is like parental involvement. Parents are the first teachers. I heard that a lot. Parents being involved. So thank everybody for. And at this time, I it's on. Okay, lady, I'll pass it on to you.
Okay, give me just a brief moment because unfortunately we are hitting close to time. That's what happens when we have some good conversation. We get lost on the track of time. So I'm gonna try to make this as brief as I possibly can. Lucky we can see these slides, so I'm just just give me one moment, okay? One moment, please. Okay, you guys. So I just had a little quick interruption. So I'm going to present the framework and just put in the chat box what it is that you want to see. So if you bring up that slide, please. Okay, so this is the framework that we have created with some discussions that we had in the chat in our breakout discussion. So just put in the chat box some of the framework that you want to see happening around these discussions or these topics or these ideas that we have came up with. Or like SK said, like which of these do you want to see happen the most? And I'm gonna jump out there and say parents and teachers, well, parents and administrators, providers, all those good people aligning together aligning together. And if you want to, you can come off of me if you don't feel like doing all that typing. It's me, but I did not know we had so many so many responses. When Kay opened up the Jamboard, I was like, wow, that's a lot. So it's a lot to choose from.
And y'all just let me know if you need me to zoom in and where, and you should be able to do it on your Zoom page, but I can do it on here too.
I like the part where it says keeping parents informed all the way through. I mean, that's not just from birth in providing some doula classes, but what is it like to enroll them in early Head Start or an early intervention program or in a pre-K program? And then what happens in kindergarten and what happens in first grade and third grade? What to expect at each step of the way so the parents are prepared as well as the children, so we can get the best outcome in the children's success, whether it's entering kindergarten or entering college, following them all the way through.
And Letty, you had a couple in the chat too.
Okay, so let's see what's going on in this chat box. Parents in action. It's okay to ask for help. Oh, we also got mental health awareness. Yes, yes, yes. Because it is showing up in every word, in everything. Structure and early intervention. Oh, yeah. Early intervention awareness. Also giving parents a framework for stages of school life. Anything else? Okay, this looks good. This looks really good. And then even like the ones that wasn't not mentioned, it still looks good. How do you recognize trauma in in your child or in your children? Yeah. Oh, parent time out. Hold on now. A safe place for parents to feel safe, to express their to express their needs and to relax and play with peers. Yeah.
Yeah, let me emphasize on that, what that looks like in real time. And so instead of always putting our children in timeout because they're traumatized, they're overwhelmed, how about create a safe place for parents to go, relax, time themselves out, and prepare them to deal with their children. So in our centers, we can have that place between the transition from school life and parents transition from job. They can come in 10 minutes, time out themselves, whether they thoughts, whether they feelings, get off their phone, and then pick up their child, and then be able to engage with their child for the rest of the afternoon. So instead of putting our children in time out, let's put ourselves in some place, time out, regroup, feel comfortable, and then let's start our second job and most important job, which is working with our children.
I like that. But, what I was thinking of, like parent cafes, like spaces with parents in. But I do see where you're going with this.
Yeah, and the parent cafes and the spaces in either your home or center will accommodate that. And that is one of our goals at Unipress that we're developing.
Okay. I like it. Okay, you guys. And as always, hold on. Do we have anything else before I turn it over for us to close out? Okay, this has been a great discussion. As always, it's all good to hear from the many partners that we have in East St. Louis to make this work for all of us. And now what we have heard is commitment forms. So you know how we have a commitment form as far as we give a person a commitment form as far as like taking the action step. Okay, so we're gonna do a commitment form on ourselves. As you see, there's a different topics here. You can even pick 1, 2, 3, all of them, doesn't matter. It says, I will support the development of young children in my life and work by, and I will better serve families this year by, and then we have, I will support my child's teachers this year by, and whatever it is that you commit to. But if none of these resonate with you, what other ways would you like to commit? And you can add your responses. You can add this to the chat box as well as what you will be committed to. And what I would do, I would support my child's teacher this year by being more responsive to emails, to that class dojo, filling my forms out at a proper time. And what else I would do, what else that I would make a commitment to doing is better communicating. Because I know after that times I get overwhelmed with work and I forget to send an email, forget to fill out a form. And just to let her know, hey, I'm sorry with this form or this money going to be turned in at a later time, give me grace period. But just practicing my communication to let her know that, I got your memo, I got your letter, I'm going to respond with you at my earliest convenience. Just by saying that. So if you have any of your own that you want to commit to, or you want to commit to any of these, please do so. And let's take a step to making these commitments work.
Okay, I'll go a step further by I will support the development of the young children in my life work by meeting my child where they are. I mean, I have a young, I think, scientist in my house. So if we want to go outside and experiment with bugs and peanut butter, I'll support him with that.
Mhm. I would better serve families this year by informing them of any upcoming community events. Y'all keep it coming. We have some more here. Or what other ways would you like to commit?
Well, I like to commit myself to be better organized.
Hey.
Because by me having my phone, I keep it keeping everything on my calendar to keep myself in place.
And there would be other ways you would commit. I like it.
Right.
You know what, Patricia? I would also commit in taking me some me time.
Yeah, me too.
Some self-love, some TLC.
That's what I was saying when I was sitting here, and she had to say about that 10 minutes break that they have. If we could just have that a day, it'll be so wonderful.
I think we should support the government in taking away daylight savings time.
Is that going in other, Danielle? Where am I putting that?
I know. We probably got to talk to Mother Nature about that.
They were talking about that on the news, though, actually. It's a bill that's actually trying to pass.
We also have a comment from Sandra Goodwin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, I would better serve families this year by preparing active in advance. I like it, Sandra. Sandra, I like it. Because I should be saying that, man, why she give this out in such last minute? Yes. Anything else?
I've got one to share.
Mhm.
For the second one, I will better serve families this year by. I think it's like seeing ways that I can step back and like give up power or money or other things to better serve community.
I like it. Okay, anything else we want to add on to here?
I think I would like to encourage other people to just get involved in all this community engagement opportunities that we have going on, and just participate, you guys, because we have some great, activities I just went to. Thank you, Amy, for inviting me. Hopefully my baby didn't drive everybody crazy.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah, it's, just get involved. We have so many great activities going on, coming up. Just get involved. When you hear about it, especially the positive ones, participate.
Okay, we have something else in the chat box. Teachers may need more teachers' aid in the class for more one-on-one. So who's this, Cynthia? So this a commitment or this is just a comment? Okay, so I guess this was just a comment that you was making, which is fine. Oh, I our better service. Okay, Joanne. I will better serve families this year by creating child, teacher, and parent group activities. Sounds good. By creating child, teacher, and parent activities. Okay. Okay, and Miss Rose, which is a family engagement worker, she is creating.
And that's a he, Miss Hicks. That's
Huh?
a he.
Oh.
That's a Mr. Rose. I think he's the only gentleman on the call. And then
I'm
shout out
sorry.
to him. He's our family engagement worker at Unipress, and he comes up with a lot of creative ways to engage families in our program and outside our program. And Danielle, he was very instrumental in getting a lot of those activities that you were able to interact with this last event. And we have several more coming. So, shout out to Mr. Rose. He is and I'm not sharing, Unipress family engagement worker.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rose, for your work that you're doing with the engagement. Mr. Rose, as I was correcting. My apologies for that. My glasses, it's not with me right now at this moment. Okay, so I believe that is all that we have. And I will, I guess, turn it over so we could close up.
Great, thanks so much. So
Thank you all. I'm sorry. Thank you all. Thank you all for your commitment. And even if you didn't commit, I know in your heart you commit. Thank you.